All right. I hope everyone enjoyed the film. It got you. I know it's sure it's gotten you emotional. The rest of the evening, we're going to be talking about the issue in depth. One thing that I do want to say is a caveat: this ideology that we are separate, that's being pushed in America right now, and this division. That's only true if we decide it to be. This film that was created had 19 different ethnicities to be a part of that. Not just me, but a plethora from different countries who came together just to create that piece. And the reality of it is, we need to honor those immigrants who've been fighting for America since the Revolutionary War. It's not a new thing, but we need to honor them as much as possible. So I get the pleasure to be able to introduce Hector Barajas, who came all the way up from San Diego to be here with us. So let's give him a round of applause. No. Pop. Yep. All right. Cool. Yep. Got it. Um, and then I'm really excited. My mentor in this space, as far as Deported Veterans issue, is James Smith. He is the founder of the Black Deported Veterans of America. He's going to be kicking it off as far as the panels for the rest of the evening. I know this man's heart is huge. His dedication is strong. I cannot tell you enough. I talk to him every day, and every day he is working on the Deported Veterans issue. I mean, every single day since the day that I have met him. So I have never seen someone so committed to something outside of themselves as him. And he's such an inspiration. I salute him all the time. I appreciate you. I'm going to hand the mic off and you take it from here, Coach.
Thank you very much. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. And before I bring up the next person, I want to point out to you one of the things that really tied me in with Rob. I'm a documentarian. I got into this. I was doing a documentary of my own on the deported veteran issue. And when I saw Rob's film, I was blown away because it was the first one. I'd seen other good ones, but it was the first one that had highlighted someone that looked like me that was there. And it was one of the things that we understood that needed for this to be able to move forward. It couldn't just continue to be a thing of Latin that just only my Latin brothers and sisters were being deported. At the time when I first found out about it, I thought it was just an outlier. The first black person I heard, I thought it was just an outlier. So I didn't really chase that end of the story. I couldn't find him, so I just let it go. But over the years, the thing kept going and going and going. And during the process, I wound up, while I was riding around with one of my buddies here, who you'll also meet later, Jesus Manuel Valenzuela, I get this email. No, actually, I get a Facebook message from this guy named David Bariu from Kenya, and I'm like, okay, Kenya, damn, we got cats over there, and Manny actually told me, he said, yeah, I've known this guy for a while. So he had been conversing with him during that time period. Well, over the next about 8 months, David and I got to know each other much more, and we met other Black deported veterans from Jamaica, from Ghana, from Ethiopia, from St. Kitts, from Honduras, from Guyana, from all over. And they started to populate, thanks to also some help from Hector Barajas and Hector Lopez. They pointed some of these cats towards us. I am blown away by this next guy. His name is David Bariu. He's from Kenya. One of the great things that Hector provided for the deported veterans that were in Mexico is they had camaraderie. They had each other. At least in that process, they weren't doing this by themselves. David did it 14 years by himself. There was no one there with him to meet each day, to share that pain with him. He did it for 14 years. I told David, after a year, I'd have been Kenyan as a motherfucker. That's how I feel. So I give you much pleasure. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for David Bariu.
I was born in Nairobi, Kenya.
In 1998, Bariu came to America on a student visa. While here, he says he was persuaded by an Army recruiter to enlist, promising him free school and U.S. citizenship.
I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Bariu joined, serving in the Army and eventually the Air Force Reserves.
For the love of serving the country, for the love of defending the Constitution.
But by 2007, Bariu says he was forced to leave the military after his recruiter was court-martialed and found guilty of unlawfully enlisting African national students, among them Bariu. While Army discharge papers he provided us show he was honorably discharged for an erroneous entry, Army investigative records he also provided us appear to detail how Bariu was one of dozens of Kenyan students recruited in a fraudulent enlistment scheme.
My recruiter was fraudulently recruiting internationals to meet his quota. It's difficult to explain what reasoning they used to justify my deportation.
Bariu, who thought he was legally enlisted when he joined the military, was stripped of his military certification and VA card and deported back to Kenya. But not before he says he also spent a year detained in a Texas migrant detention center.
I don't know if they were trying to make me give up. I don't know if they were trying to radicalize me and make me fight the system or say bad things about the United States.
Bariu is among an unknown number of U.S. veterans who honorably served in America's armed forces but then got deported without the American citizenship and other benefits they claim they were promised.
Hello. Okay. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna speed this up a little long because we've gotten a little late in the program. This next. Okay. This next person I'm introducing is also what we would call one of the founders of the Deported Veteran movement. Hector was started from the south of the border there in TJ. Manuel Valenzuela started in Colorado Springs. All right. You will hear in the promo about him. I just want to let you know that I was enlisted into this when I heard about Hector Barajas. I was enthusiastically fired up to run with this when I ran with this man across this country. He's gone through driven over 150,000 miles back and forth in his RV just for this issue. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jesus Manuel Valenzuela.
Semper Fi, always faithful. It is the famous motto of the U.S. Marines. But has the U.S. shown the same commitment to those who served?
Deported veterans, some of whom are decorated and wounded, remain absent from the debate in Washington over immigration reform. Thousands have been deported in recent years.
Deported veterans is a term that shouldn't even exist. Most of them lived in America their entire lives, and as a result of some sort of infraction, they've gotten deported.
This is putting the American people at risk. I mean, these people came illegally.
From traffic violations?
Yes, but they came here illegally. They need to be deported back to their country.
So you could stop it if you wanted to?
Yes.
Have you stopped it for any veterans?
No.
Manuel Valenzuela and his brother Valente both received their deportation notices in 2009. For the first time in American history, military veterans face mass deportation.
Okay, again, because we need to escalate this program, I'm just going to ask each one of them one question, okay? Because it was supposed to be more, but trust me, you'll find their stories in the toolkit. All right, so you won't miss that. Plus, when we take a break, you're free. We're going to take a break for about 5 minutes, and then you'll be able to talk to them on your own. If we have a time in the end, we'll bring them back. But I want to make sure that I get the wives in before they have to go to their previous previous things that they had to do. Hector, people basically first heard about you and discovered you at the San Ysidro crossing, and standing out there in your uniform. What prompted you to do that, and how long were you doing that before you were discovered by American media?
Sure. So I did this for that was deported in 2004. So over, and then I snuck back in and I got deported the second time. So it took about, over 10 something years for you, a lot of hard work to just trying to get it out there. But when I went through immigration, I thought I was the only person that was going through this. And the biggest thing for me was I wanted to come home to my family. I have a 20-year-old daughter that she hasn't spoken to me in over 3 years. And unfortunately, our families are also affected. And also because these are my brothers and my sisters. And in the military, we have a motto of leave no man or woman behind. And that's why I kept pushing and pushing. And I'm here today. Anything's possible if you put your heart and spirit to it.
Outstanding. As a matter of fact, even though I said one, I'm gonna follow that up because a lot of people just know about you doing the support house there in TJ. How much further did you take your advocacy after that? Where else did you go?
Sure. So at one point, I started organizing other veterans in Juarez, and then when I went to immigration, same thing. I thought, well, nothing but Mexicans. That was my perception. My uncle crossing the border, and then I met Canadians, Portuguese, people from all over the world. So when I started organizing, I found out there were veterans all over the world. And at one point, I went to the Dominican Republic. I went to Haiti. I went to Costa Rica, and I traveled many different places to try to organize, and limited with what I had. And through my advocacy and just social media, I connected with David, who this guy is very amazing because he's been very involved with the cause, and he's definitely like semper fi, semper fidelis. He's living by that Marine, and that's their motto. But I really I'm thankful for David and everybody that's here, Rob and you, and thankful that some of us are here, and we're going to keep fighting for the rest.
Appreciate that. Now, just as you said, you got in touch with David during that process. David, you're there in Kenya, trying to figure it out, deal with the things that you were dealing with there. How did you wind up getting in contact with Hector?
For me, it was back in the day we didn't have social media. So when I got Facebook and I was just, I guess, browsing, I saw his story and what he was doing, and I reached out to him, and he was like, "Oh, you're in Kenya? I know somebody in Senegal, So I was like, "I'm not even close to Senegal, but I will keep up with what he's trying to say." So as soon as I found out that we had more veterans out there in a similar situation like mine, that gave me motivation to be patient with myself. I was boxed out. It was difficult for me because in Kenya, we have different ethnicities, different religions. With Muslims being out there, we border Somali from Northeast. So apparently, unfortunately, we have those terrorists out there, and they have infiltrated into Kenya. So it is difficult for me as a veteran being out there with my resume trying to look for work, owning up to being a veteran. So I was trying to avoid kidnappings or attacks or anything like that. So that gap on my resume was difficult for me to get jobs. So I was hopping from one job to another, 6 months, holding up to what I can, and it was difficult. And having a family made it more difficult. But with the patience I had and seeing what they're doing, Manny and James, I kept on just, hanging there, asking questions, nagging them all the time. D's out there, I used to nag her all the time because I didn't care about the time difference. So I used to call her like 3 a.m, just, hey, I need help. And I'm blessed to be back, but still, I still pray for the others that they can get the same benefits we're getting right now. And we're still fighting for them.
Thank you, brother. God bless. Manny, brother, as I spoke and said, you've driven over 150,000 miles in that RV of justice. And that does include the big blue that you had before that. You've met with presidential candidates. You've been to the White House. You've been on so many tours. Why do you keep doing this?
Well, more importantly is what we did for this country. You know, I had to go in Vietnam, and things that I did it stays with you forever. We are every person right here that we serve this country, we do it for never leave nobody behind. We never leave nobody behind, dead or alive, we're together. And that's the oath that I gave.
Yeah.
If you knew to see the people dying, thrown away from this country, that's a disgrace and dishonor to this world. God told me, don't ever give up. Keep fighting it, because the future of us and the babies, my great-granddaughters, I'm not gonna leave that future like that. It's gotta be changed. I'm gonna fight to make sure they have a real home. Because all you people don't know how ugly it's gonna get. I have gone through a lot of things in my life. And when I came back from Vietnam, I admitted I was gonna go like this. But I prayed to God to give me something. And He did. You never can imagine the pain and agony to see the brothers deported, dying, deported. I got to meet them. And I will not ever give up until He tells me to come up.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. God bless. Well, I'd like to, if you can, I know it may be asking a lot. I don't think it is. These three gentlemen represent the brothers and sisters that we have in the military that are standing up for the freedom and liberties that you and I are exercising every single day. So if you please don't mind standing up, give them a hand as they exit from the stage. God bless you.